All right, what's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. We've got World War III slash maybe not World War III happening, maybe crisis averted. We've got some losses that were taken last week, and the Great Chase. And so stick around to see what I mean by the Great Chase. So let's get fired up and go through all this real quick. So just took some losses on Argentina, ETF, some call options, not that many. I mean, it's in a liquid options market to begin with, but whatever. 52% loss on those. So, oh, I'll show you where I got out of these. So, right in here, I drew this sort of trend line that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish days. And then either the very next day or the following day after that got out somewhere in here. So such a bummer on those. I was all pumped up. We caught these in here pretty good, but the second time was a loser. So, whatever. Soundhound took a loss on these as well, a 15% loss. But, again, in terms of just sort of like the Argentina ETF, it's just such a small percentage of the portfolio are in these names where I mean, it still sucks, right? Because it's not like it's such a small percentage to the point where it wouldn't matter if it works out. So obviously, when it doesn't work out, it still sucks. But in terms of percentage of what I'm in, they're on the absolute lowest end. So there's that. That's that. Get the losers out of the way. Now let's go over to other stuff happening. So last night, or was it 2 nights ago, when the U.S. bombed an Iranian nuclear facility, I thought, oh no, well, I mean, it's not good. But I was expecting Sunday night gold to really rally, equities, Bitcoin really sell off, oil really rally, and it was fairly muted. So then I thought, there's probably a pretty decent chance today that equities could actually perform pretty well. And if that would be the case, I'll start adding like crazy to positions and start new positions, right? Because there's lots of things that have really good risk to reward. And when my strategy says to go after something, whether there's a war or whatever is going on, I don't care. I don't care. I just follow what my rules are, and the rules don't have anything to do with outside noise. So that's that. If you start, it's a slippery slope. If you start talking yourself out of something for one thing, you'll talk yourself out of it for another thing. Or this economic data that's coming out, or the house sales that are coming out, or CPI, or what the Fed does, or what Donald Trump says, or what Israel says. You'll talk yourself out of anything. And I understand that this conflict that's going on in the Middle East is a rather large deal, but like I said, it's a slippery slope that I don't calculate that into what my personal style is or strategy is. So therefore, it's not in there, and I don't make decisions based upon that. So anyways, let's see. XLI, industrials, such a strong day. Are you kidding me? I mean, see, this is my criteria. Big move up, a consolidation right here at the 21-day EMA. Stochastic down here at 20. The RSI was down here around 50. That is a have to go after for my style. Obviously it doesn't, work out all the time. I take losses all the time, but over a large sample size, it is a winning strategy. So you have to step up and go after it. So anyways, unbelievably strong day for, an industrials ETF, up 1.3%. I got in on these last week. So Thursday, Friday, something like that. And I added to these today. It was really hard not to. Because, it's just super strong day. August 15 is the expiration. 145 is the strike price. So a little bit out of the money. 325 is what the average cost basis is for those calls. Those are currently 345. So like I said, this ETF looks great, really good volume. So, you see a nice move up, volumes start drying up in here, and volumes picking back up in here, indicating another move higher in that same direction. Obviously, anything can and does happen. It's just the higher probability that this will continue higher rather than going lower. Let's look at this on a weekly chart, and just lots of consolidation. It's not like I've played this one perfect by any means. I've gotten in and out of this a little bit, and still in them. And cool. Yeah, I mean, XOI moves pretty similar with how Dow Jones moves, and Dow Jones Industrial Average is my all-time favorite index. And nice to go after. Speaking of stuff that moves with Dow Jones Industrial Average is financials. And I've been talking about this for a long time. All through here, none of this meets my criteria, although clearly this went up here, but I haven't gone after XLF in a long time, and this is one of my favorite ETFs. Awesome sector. There's not much volatility priced into these into the options market. So when you do get a good move, it works out nicely. So again, this 50-day moving average right around this $50 price target. You have all sorts of consolidation. The moving averages all sort of converging, trying to move up together. Stochastic down here, now it's at 40, but earlier it was below there, but still 40 still fine. 40 still okay to go after at 40. Actually, the guy that the guy who wrote the book, which I read, says he goes after it at 40. Since I've started implementing this, since September, so really not that long, but it works out great. I do really like the stochastic indicator, and I'm not a fan of indicators, really, too many of them. So I do like this one. And it seems like below, at 40 sometimes is pushing it for me. Below 40 or ideally 20 is cool. Anyways, so that meets that. RSI right here around 50. Sweet. Yeah, this could be awesome. Great risk to reward. But there's so many things that were meeting my certain style, so I have to go after them, even though last week sucked. And then all this all this war and whatever, so it was harder for me to pull the trigger. I'm less enthusiastic on these things, but I don't let my emotions, or I do my best not to let my emotions or anything outside of my control dictate how I trade. So, yep. All right. Now some more stuff. NASDAQ. On the Qs here, looks a lot better. It's respecting this 21-day EMA. And by the way, I don't really know how much worse, geopolitical news you can possibly get other than a full-blown war. And indexes, NASDAQ is almost at an all-time high and closed up today very strong. If that is not a dead giveaway to go long something, then nothing will convince anybody to go after something. So NASDAQ, with that being said, looks good, sort of. I have no clue what kind of pattern this is. None of this makes any sense to me. But that's just one thing that goes into my criteria of buying. A really major thing is the 21-day EMA, stochastic, down here 20, 30, 40, and RSI not at some sort of extreme levels. And that's what we have here. So, anyways, so TQQQ, the leveraged ETF here for NASDAQ 100, August 15 is the expiration, $75 strike price. So, yeah, almost in the money here. And those were average of $6. And those are currently flat. I'll show you where I got into these today. So here's the morning. Here's how the morning looks, right? Here's the open, and then just monstrous moves. This was spectacular move. And so then I'm like, okay, I have to start going long things here. This is showing some serious strength. And so then I'm waiting, and like right here, this first major selling, because it's really important to buy call options on weakness, and because they'll change 10%, right, 10, 15, 20% pretty quickly, and I guess that's all relative to how short of an expiration for the call options you're buying. But anyways, typically around like a 60-day expiration, you can still see like a 10% move, 15% move within 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And so anyways, that's what we had here. These were up here like 6:30, so I set the buy order around 590, and as this was moving up, I just filled it at 6. And then all through this area, I left and made breakfast and ate breakfast and came back, and this is how it was. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going on? But anyways, this super powerful, and I thought, okay, all right, it's all good. And the rest of the day, holy moly, what a move. And then after hours, just boom. So, Trump said there's a ceasefire between Israel and Iran, and then I just saw something where it's like Iran didn't agree to the ceasefire. So, I don't know, whatever. All right. So there's that. We got more stuff we're in. Shake Shack, burgers, French fries, milkshakes. What's not to love? I think they serve Shake Shack on Delta Airlines. So you got the best airline serving the world's best burgers. and yeah, so when is this Friday? Yeah, so this was Friday I was buying these, right? So even knowing tensions are super high, the U.S. is probably going to be bombing Iran, and with it going into the weekend, again, it's just like, this clearly was a breakout here on Friday. So, I have to go after it. No matter what, you have to, because like I said, it is a slippery slope. If I talk myself out of going after something for one reason, then I'll talk myself after not going after it for another reason next week, so yeah, you can't do that. It's weak. It's dumb. It's a dumb mindset to have. So anyways, this equity position 132.46. Those are 135. Well, we can see 135.51. So that works out good. Shake Shack, my old friend Shake Shack, man, all in here. Some fantastic options trades in here, but we're going with a different strategy now in Shake Shack, and that is going to be a straight equity position, and holding Shake Shack till it goes to my price target of $7,000. All right. Shake Shack, $7,000 price target. Rumble, still in Rumble. This looks terrible. I cannot believe this. Down 3.3% when markets had such a strong day. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible trade management. Horrible. I'm still in these. This hit my... when we got into these, right in here, this day, I said $10 is my price target. Well, the $10 came. First thing, it opened at $10. You can see right here. This is where it opened. $10. Opened $9.99. And so that was my target. And I told myself, you have to hold this. That is such massive strength. We're nowhere in extended levels. And the thing just completely sold off, and now this is terrible. So again, I bet my rules, sort of. It's so important to hold your winners and hold stocks that are showing serious strength. So this is one where it just kind of didn't work out, but often it hits the price target and boom, I get out. And this one, I don't. And now it looks like crap. So, I don't know. August 15 is the expiration. 3.5. Oh, shoot. That's a totally different one. October 17 is the expiration. So that's in quite a while. $12 strike price. Slightly out of the money. That was a mistake. Those were when I was buying, I think it was SoundHound, the $12 calls for SoundHound, and I just was in the zone switching over from SoundHound to Rumble and just pumping through the $12 strike price for Rumble. But anyways, 85 cents. Those are currently 62 cents. So come on, wake up. Let's get ready to rumble. Bitcoin is something I've sort of been working in and out of as well. So again, I haven't managed this position perfectly by any means. Pretty poorly, I would say. I've managed it horribly, actually. But we're still in these. And I bet August 15 is the expiration. $61 strike price. Those are average cost of $4.55. Those are currently $3. But Bitcoin looks great after hours. Sort of, kind of. Sort of, kind of. I retract my great statement. But it's up 2% after hours. Wow. So cool. Moving on. Bitcoin to the moon. Let's go. Chop, chop. Fubo. Sports. Look at this. What a close. Fantastic close. And still in these calls. I got a little marker here set, 340, to remind myself. Hello, add to those. August 15 is the expiration. $3.50 strike price, 32 cents. Those are currently 30. So yeah, I bought some more today in here, and again, I just, what's serious strength? Below the 50-day moving average. Did this go below $3? Yeah, $2.97. That's fantastic to see. Everyone's setting stop losses below $3, so you love to see it. Oh yeah, see, just takes out these stop losses, and away we go. And yeah, sweet. So that is it for the positions. Now let's go over the Great Chase. The Great Chase is what you will see if markets make an all-time high from here, or tomorrow's a really strong day. The amount of people that are short, the amount of terrible news is going to create a massive short squeeze and chasing. And I personally know some people that have kind of been out of this entire rally. And so plenty of people, it's not like I know a lot of people, that's for sure. So just with my small sample size, you can make the assumption that there are plenty of people that have sort of been on the sidelines, and they'll start getting FOMO, and all the people that are short that have to cover their shorts, and we are gonna just rocket higher. So that is what the Great Chase could be. Now, will it happen? I have no clue. But it's looking like there is a higher probability that it'll happen versus not happening. So now let's go over some indexes, and we'll go over to our best friend Dow Jones. And Mr. Jones is looking strange. Again, I don't understand what any of these patterns are. None of it makes sense to me, but that doesn't mean anything. So now, all that this is the uptrend has continued after looking like it was rolling over on heavy volume. So these are little clues, you know what I mean? Like, if markets are really going to roll over, it starts with a day like this. And this sort of trend line here is broken. A clear, obvious trend line that everybody's watching is broken on heavy volume. I mean, that is a huge sign that we're going lower. And just to get completely bought the next day, where I was like, what the heck is going on? Then sort of selling off, and like, oh no, and then this closed, and just things were not looking good. And then World War III breaks out, and we close up, and so again, this is showing strength. That is not weakness. So I cannot be bearish and go for any short positions there. So Dow Jones. Now let's go over, so we did XLI. Oh wait, let's just stick with indexes here. So look at SPY, ES, and yeah, I mean, this is in an uptrend close to all-time highs. NASDAQ, uptrend close to all-time highs. Really close. My goodness. Yeah, I still have the same stance where I think it was last week where I made that video, or maybe 2 weeks ago, where I don't understand how you can be bearish by looking at equities. I just don't. Just an unbiased opinion of strictly looking at equities through a technical analysis lens only. It was impossible for me to be bearish. Now, I was sort of neutral and not, in a lot, right? But just anyways, I'm still in that same camp. Just from a technical analysis perspective only, it's really hard to be bearish, and that's essentially what my criteria is. So that's basically what I base my decisions off of. Now, I can completely understand arguments for the contrary. I would probably agree with with most of them. Growth expectations are sort of through the roof, and no one really talks about that from the Fed's forecasts for GDP. They're like insane. They're coming in at like 4%, and no one's really talking about that. That's massive, right? So you have so many people that are bearish, which I understand. I fully understand. You have hedge funds at like max short positions. You have World War III. Oil going to $1 million, terrible things happening. But the Fed has been quietly forecasting very strong growth. So, just from a technical analysis perspective, it's hard to be bearish. So there's that for indexes. Now let's look at the Qs here, and let's go over here to a weekly chart. Oh, that's monthly. Well, whatever, look at monthly. Yeah, just from 2 months ago, the most bullish monthly candle you could ever get of all time, to think this is just going to fizzle out is another little notch going in there, shoot, anything kind of does happen, so, whatever. See, on a weekly, this looks like kind of like, looking like it was going to start rolling over, but this would have been the week to start off here. Two really sort of weak closes. People are getting chopped in and out all these last couple weeks, myself included, for certain positions, because I'm more of a momentum trader, so once momentum kind of stops, I'm going to get out. Once momentum starts, I'm going to get in. And that happened last week, both directions, right? So I kind of got chopped in and out. And just terrible trade management, just horrible. Just absolutely abysmal. And I should have done more waiting, like I said. But anyways, so on a daily chart, this looks okay. If we aren't even going to fill this gap on World War III, then what the heck is going to fill this gap? I really don't know. So, wow, what are futures doing right now? Are we just going straight up? Yeah, we're going straight up. Are you kidding me? All right, there's that. Now, since we're on, okay, there's indexes. You know what? Let's continue here. So Germany. Whoa, this looks like a great place to go after Germany. Go after Germany, baby. What is it, coming up to Oktoberfest? Germany looks good. Yeah, clear and obvious risk to reward below 40 is a no-go. Now there's kind of that gap, so I would kind of give it some wiggle room, and then 42 would be the first price target, so that one is cool. This meets the criteria. Man, this was really in some sort of stretched positioning to the downside. Let's see this on a weekly chart. Yeah. Okay, so again, like Germany is at all-time highs. Clearly it's sort of off, but Germany is. When's the last time this was even So Germany hasn't been able to break out of this $36 price target since 2007. So this is Germany has been basing, well, yeah, it's been range bound since 2007 and is breaking out to all-time highs, and people are somehow bearish. Like, dude, that is the most bullish case scenario. So I don't know how many times do I have to say anything can and does happen, but just again, I mean, you know, breaks out to all-time highs after 20 years. 200-day moving average is moving up. 50-day moving average is moving up. Kind of sort of a shakeout below. I mean, you know, cool. All right, let's go over to our Mexico neighbors. How are they doing? And they don't really meet my criteria to go after, but, you know, shoot. I can see people going after this. Let's see how our Malaysia friends are doing. Looks terrible. Nah, let's go over to China. And this looks like a great place to go after this. Let's see this on a weekly chart. Yeah. This looks pretty cool. Wow, see? Yeah, FXI looks good to go after. Meets the criteria. Pretty extended levels to the downside, honestly. What else are we looking at? Oh, let's look at Japan. Yeah, just sort of chugging along, sort of like U.S. indexes, sort of funky. I don't really know what to make of it other than it's in an uptrend, you know, which is pretty remarkable. So there's that. All right, now let's go over to Mag 7, and might as well start with Tesla, up 8% today. Robotaxi is going to take Tesla to $1 bajillion. And yeah, I mean, you know, like I was saying, you have Elon Musk coming back to focus more on Tesla, which is a great thing for shareholders for Tesla. Anyone who thinks otherwise is coming to that conclusion based upon emotions, and that is not a good way to invest. And so this looks, I mean, up 8%. I mean, who would have thought Tesla today up 8%? You know, on huge volume. Let's see this on a weekly chart. Dang, this sort of looks like it's just getting started. Let's see this on a monthly chart. Oh, are you kidding me? Yeah, this 8% move is probably nothing. Oh boy, Tesla looks good. See, there's something to go after with Tesla, and Uber was even up today. Very interesting. Up pretty big. Oh man, I've been hurt by Uber recently with Tesla. Oh yeah, right in here. Yeah, I got smacked right in there. Ugh. But this looks so good. See, talk yourself out of one thing, talk yourself out of everything. All right. We're skipping Uber. Moving on. I don't even like single stocks. I don't even know why I bother. Are you kidding me? Microsoft? 487 all-time highs after making an all-time high for like a week in a row? And somehow people are bearish. It is irrational to be bearish right now. It is irrational. Actually, it's kind of rational given that that's all this crazy things are going on. But if you didn't know anything that's going on around the world, if you blotted out everything, you lived in some cave and all you have access to is charts, you must be thinking the entire world is at peace. You know? Okay. Amazon. Well, maybe I speak too soon. Amazon looks, whatever. It doesn't even look good. All right, pass. Well, yeah, I just pass. I still wouldn't be surprised with another move up. But yeah, we're passing on that. Nvidia, it looks a little bit like weird, right? But again, if you were bearish, you would want to see this continuing to the downside, and it was not. I mean, this is the clear and obvious place to where this is really going to start selling off. And it's not. And even if it did sell off here, that's not even that big of a deal per se. I would say there's a high likelihood that it would and can still continue much higher. But it hasn't as of yet. So, and then AMD has been rocking, so again, you have, a terrible company in relation to Nvidia that's, performing well. So money is moving farther out on the risk curve there in semis, which again is a good sign if you're bullish on that sector to see money moving farther out on the risk curve. Taiwan Semiconductor looks good. It's respecting this 21-day EMA. Now look at semiconductor ETF, and that's okay. I don't know. It's not a trade in there for me, so which is why I haven't taken one. All right, now let's see. Real estate, just I don't know. I don't really have an opinion. Whatever. Bonds, sort of same opinion. I have had the same opinion on these. The bond market is not pricing in anything crazy happening, which is very shocking. Sort of, kind of, not really. I mean, but if you just, yeah. So anyways, you take these things and you add them into the bucket of, is this bullish, is this bearish for equities, and just blot out the rest of the noise. In this case, it's fairly neutral, which is sort of bullish in and of itself. So yeah. Oh gosh, we're still on Mag 7. I'm getting totally distracted with other sectors. Apple looks like it has survived. Oh, let's look at this on a weekly chart. Maybe there's a massive, massive move to catch here in Apple. Yeah, sort of. There could be. Wow. But we'll leave this be. Gosh, Google. How's Google doing? Terrible. Satya has got to be underrated, the greatest CEO of all time. The return for his shareholders since Satya took over has got to be one of the greatest of all time. This was, he took over back here. What was this, 2016? $53. This is so insane. Actually, I don't exactly know when Satya took over, but we could find this out. When did Satya become CEO? Microsoft. 2014, yeah. So I was off by 2 years. 2014. $40 was the high in 2014. $40. Are you kidding me? 10x returns. He's got to be the greatest CEO of all time. I don't know how you can argue otherwise. People talk about Tim Cook and whatever, or Steve Jobs, and Tim Cook too. But I mean, are you kidding me? Or Jeff Bezos, or Elon Musk. Okay. Wow. I mean, just that is remarkable. That's so remarkable. It's so cool for shareholders. Like, these things are so cool. You get pumped up on this. Microsoft is like one of the largest companies in the world that employs, a bajillion people. They give stock bonuses. So many people around the world that hold Microsoft. So the employees are benefiting. All their shareholders are benefiting. These are great things that should be celebrated. Meta, it's good to see Meta making a comeback. Mark Zuck has sort of gone quiet, but I don't trust that dude at all. Never have. I don't think I ever will. Just because now he's dressing like a bro, like a brokey going on Joe Rogan. I mean, dude, these people are, they're shapeshifters. So it's tough to trust them. And plus, I've never had Facebook, so I always thought that stuff was lame anyways. But, oh yeah, and then what they did, all colluding with the government to just push the whole agenda of whatever the government wanted them to push. So, and then all of a sudden, Mark Zuckerberg goes and testifies, and it's like, the Biden administration forced us to make to say all this stuff and push all this misinformation, and, I feel bad. It's like, give me a break, If you're really cool from the get-go, you would have told them, what? We can't do that. All right. Costco looks good. Wow. And yeah, I mean, shoot, I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. CCJ rockin'. I mean, oh, let's go back to our old friend, OKLO. Wow, see, this looks really good. Even though, down 5%, and you think, wow, this is terrible, but it's not terrible. Pretty good close. Little shakeout. This might be worth going after tomorrow. I think it is. Maybe. We shall see. I don't want to get stretched too thin, you know what I mean? Because we aren't in full-on chase mode yet. That's for sure. So, I'm not going full craziness, but oh yeah. Let's look at some JP Morgan. Almost all-time highs. Bank of America. Huge day. All right, let's look at Berkshire Hathaway. Are you kidding me? Off the 200-day moving average. So you've got Berkshire Hathaway, one of the largest holdings in XLF. I think it is the largest. Off the 200-day moving average. Visa and MasterCard are in there as well after being sold off hard. And then JP Morgan, about to make all-time highs. Goldman Sachs, our old friend Goldman Sachs, close to all-time highs. Yeah. So, anyways, that's that. I feel like we went long. I didn't write down any of my day trades today, but so we won't go over those, but they're okay. It's just okay. Pretty mediocre day. Was not around for this morning move, but got some stuff in here, and that was it. And like I said, went and made breakfast. This whole thing sold off. And then as this was rocking, I was busy doing other things than focusing on any sort of day trading. So I didn't. And that's it. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Are you kidding me? This is so close to all-time highs. Like, I don't know. Get fired up. We have amazing things coming. I mean, gosh, Broadcom. What's Broadcom up to these days? Consolidating. Wow, does this look good? Broadcom looks good. Oh, man, are you serious? Let's look at Palantir. See, here's my thing with Palantir. I can't go after Palantir. I can't do it. My morals, you gotta have some morals, right? Somewhere. I can't do it. I gotta get them off my watch list. It pains me too much to see. Where are they on this watch list? Where are they? Here they are. Goodbye, Palantir. Be gone with you. All right. Fago, Broadcom. Let's see. Oh, let's go back to cybersecurity. This might actually be a good time to go after cybersecurity. You've seen all these things coming out with like, oh, Iran's going to cyber attack people. So cyber security is probably a good sector to go after right now. Palo Alto Networks, my gosh, I can't even remember cybersecurity stocks anymore. I haven't even paid attention for a long time. Arista Networks, I think they're in there. Up 6% today on World War III news, you know? Like, I mean, unbelievable strength. Let's look at Caterpillar. Caterpillar and Train. Oh my goodness, does Train look fantastic? I'm pretty sure that's an XLI, at least I hope so. Man. Yeah, what's the cybersecurity ETF? I don't even, oh man, I don't even think I have a clue. I have no clue. Dang it. Yeah, I have no clue what cybersecurity ETF is. That's something I'll have to find. All right. And let's go over back to utilities. And yeah, maybe last time I made a video I was in this. I took a loss on this one. But this still looks pretty good. I'm just not immensely excited anymore. We got other stuff going on. Wow. Communications. This looks good. Are you kidding me? This looks fantastic. XLC. Man, I've gone after so many things today. And there's so many things that look fantastic. Let's look at ECG, so construction. Wow, this looks good too. This looks so good. Man, I don't know what else to say. I'm about to end this. Gold. Yeah, I mean, I thought gold was gonna rocket higher, and same with oil, but it's been selling off. These are signs, you know what I mean? So it's like, you can have an opinion, your personal opinion, but you have to put that aside based upon price action. You have to just lay the opinion on the side. Opinions do not matter at all. So, yeah. Silver, yeah, so oil. I mean, look at this day for oil, down 7% today. Oh my gosh, and it's down 5% after hours. It'd be nice if gas did that too, which it will not. So anyways, that's it. I don't know what else to say. Let's look at wheat. I would love for wheat and corn to start doing something. This is the first thing that ever got me into futures, and I had no clue what I was doing. And it was fantastic.